under unit multipliers. And subheading using multiple ones. Let's see what question I might ask this here. Let's say something asked us to change this. I guess we have to preface this with this. Okay, you need to first of all watch your labels. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So here, let's look at this. First of all, what if I said to convert 1 yard to feet? This is nothing new. How do we use unit multipliers to do this? You can tell me the answer, but that doesn't matter. I want to be able to do the work. I need to change 1 yard into feet. So I put that over 1. What does my unit multiplier look like that I multiply by? If I'm looking for labels to cross off, which is what unit multipliers do, Christian, what has to happen? What? Yeah, the yards have to go down here, so it crosses off with this yard. You're changing it into feet up there. And I need to know how many feet are in a yard, so that's common knowledge. Peter, it's 3 feet in 1 yard. So my doing the work here, don't forget to cross off the labels. Yards cross off. 1 times 3 is 3 feet, and 1 times 1 on the bottom is just 1, so I end up with 3 feet. We did this before, but let's shake it up a little bit here, children. Okay, what if it is change 1 yard squared to feet squared? Let me ask you a question. What is the difference between this problem and that problem? The answers will not be the same, just so you know. What do you notice? What's the difference between those, Grace?
The bottom one has an exponent.
Has an exponent. And where is that exponent? Is the exponent next to the 1 or is it next to the label? To the label. And that's important because if I am writing this out, 1 yard squared gets written like this. 1 yard times yard. That's what a yard squared is. It's not 1 times 1 yards, it's 1 yard times yard. The label what gets squared. And guess what? Because there's 2 labels there, I need 2 unit multipliers to cross off with each of them. So instead of it just being this 3 feet over 1 yard, you need to do 2 of them. Because if I just do 1, then I'm still left with 1 label yard. So I need to do 2 identical ones so that both the yard labels cross off. And guess what I'm left with? 3 times 3 is 9. And what's feet times feet? Feet squared. You just write it down as feet squared. In 1 square yard, there are 9 square feet. And not to get you all messed up even more, but what if I said change 1 yard cubed into how many feet cubed? How do you suppose that gets written out? What gets cubed, the 1 or the label? The label, so you have to write it out like this. 1 yard times yard times yard. And to cross all of those off, you need 3 identical unit multipliers that have yards on the bottom so that all those 3 labels cross off. And you have feet on top. They're still the same. It's still 3 feet in the yard. The labels cross off, yard with yard, yard with yard, yard with yard. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27 feet, 1, 2, 3 of them, cubed. And that is something eventually you'll realize. If it's just straight units, you only use 1 unit multiplier. If it's a measurement of area, you'll use 2 unit multipliers. If it's a measurement of volume, you will use 3 of them. Now, because you're getting into the harder math, look up here so you don't end up doing a lot of work. I will probably, from this point forward, unless it's an easy one like this, probably just let you leave it like this. 3 times 3 times 3 feet cubed. Because if we start talking about miles, if, like I said, 5 miles squared equals how many feet squared, you're not going to want to do that math. And I know you can do it, but I'm do it. How do I write this out? This would be 5 miles times miles, correct? Yes. What do I have to multiply to get those miles to cross off?
5.
Miles go on the bottom, correct? Feet go on the top. And how many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
Yep, you need a 5280 on both of these. And rather than having you do 5,280 times 5,280 times 5, you can just write it out as 5 times 5,280 times 5,280 feet squared. Let's see what else. There's got to be something better to ask you. 1 meter cubed to centimeters cubed. Let me let you do that one. 1 meter cubed, change that to centimeters cubed. Give you a second to do that there. 1 meter cubed to centimeters cubed. Write out the labels. Write the unit multipliers. Let me tell you, there's 100 centimeters in a meter. Is that your number, Jacob? 100 centimeters in a meter. Write out the labels. Write out the unit multipliers. Roll your dice. Move your mice. Nobody gets hurt. It's all about the labels. Alright, so this is what it should have looked like. 1 meter cubed is meter times meter times meter, correct? Do you have that? In order to get those 3 labels to cross off, you need 3 identical unit multipliers, all with meters on the bottom. What am I changing it into? Centimeters, so that goes on top. And I told you there were 100 centimeters in one of these. Meters cross off. Your answer should have been 100 times 100 times 100 centimeters cubed. There's nothing on the bottom because it's a bunch of ones. Now in reality, I think you should be able to do that multiplication. It's just 1 with 6 zeros. But I don't. I guess if you didn't do it, that's fine. Questions on that? 1 million centimeters cubed, or 100 times 100 times 100. Now, in addition to that, we have to be able to do this. Check this out. Here's where life gets fun and exciting. Change $12 per hour to cents per minute. Change $12 per hour to cents per minute. Anybody care to make an observation there? How is this different than things we've done before? Sammy?
Normally we only change one thing.
Normally we only change one thing. This one asks us to change two. Doesn't matter, same rules apply. You can change two, it's just gonna take 2 unit multipliers. You still write it out like we have it. $12 per what? 1 hour. I am changing dollars into cents, and I am changing hours into minutes. You get to pick which one you do first. You gotta do them in different steps. You can't do them all at one same time. So let's just change hours into minutes. How would I change hours to minutes? Hours is on the bottom, so it has to go on top. What has to go on the bottom? I'm changing it into minutes. What's my unit multiplier? How many minutes in an hour? 60. Now my hours are crossed off. I have just now changed it into dollars per minute. Now I need one more unit multiplier that changes dollars into cents. And since dollars is on top, it has to be on the bottom here. I put cents down there, and I need to know my conversion. What is my conversion for cents to dollars? There are 100 cents per $1. So dollars have now crossed off. Again, saving you some time. What do you multiply on top together? 12 times 100 all over, the numbers on the bottom, 60. And that would be cents per minute. And the book will probably have you do it out. I suppose we could probably just do some cross canceling here. Zeros cross off, 6 goes into 12 twice, 2 times 10 is 20 cents per minute. I don't, again, he doesn't even like that. Do you kind of get the gist of that? How about I give you one to try? How about 6 miles per hour to feet per second. Miles per hour to feet per second. Stick up there the unit multiplier. Did you get an answer? Somebody with an answer? Anybody with an answer? Oh, it's not. That ain't gonna work, is it? I know why what I have there is just gonna